here's Brody Brazil.
So regular viewers of this YouTube channel are probably already pretty familiar with the drama that is the Tampa Bay Rays. You've got a multitude of things going on. Tropicana Field still damaged from Hurricane Milton. It's maybe $60 million to fix. There's no instant solution or funding on the horizon, so we'll wait and see on that. There is an upcoming deadline. How about the current season that's just underway? It's going to take place at a temporary stadium, Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. Yeah, outdoors in Tampa all summer long. It's the minor league and spring training home of the Yankees. That's for at least this year, maybe next year. Who knows beyond this upcoming season. And then ultimately, there's that new stadium project. The Rays proposed it. The city and the county, they altered just the timing of it by 1 or 2 months, but they approved it. And now the Rays might potentially be backing out of it. All that established. And now this. Are the Tampa Bay Rays for sale? Is their owner, Stuart Sternberg, maybe making this situation a lot easier on everybody by selling the team? That is according to a report by J.P. Peterson of the J.P. Peterson Show. Now, how do I say this? Because I want to be careful with my words. I just don't know J.P. Peterson. It's not saying I don't trust J.P. Peterson. I'm sharing this with you. So, J.P., if you're watching, hopefully that is the endorsement you're looking for. I think this is worthy of sharing. It's out there. J.P. has been in the media business for a while, hosts a radio show daily. He's a hockey guy, too, which I can obviously appreciate. So, J.P., I'm going to take this because I trust that it's coming from you, and I trust that you've done diligence with the report right here. Breaking news. Just got further confirmation of an elite Tampa-based group in serious negotiations to buy the Rays with support of Major League Baseball with their preference to build a new stadium in Tampa. I can't release the names yet, but hopefully soon. More details in the video below. The video we're about to watch right now.
All right, breaking news, Rays fans. We have further confirmation of this elite group of Tampa businessmen that are in deep negotiations to buy the Rays. I cannot give you the names right now because I don't want to jeopardize the deal, which is fully supported by Major League Baseball, and they want this new group to purchase this team because they have Tampa Bay roots. When I can release these names, I will do so, but I don't want to jeopardize this because obviously it's best for Tampa Bay as a whole. Now, I reported this months ago. We have further confirmation today. Ken Rosenthal also confirmed our reporting a couple weeks ago from The Athletic, the most plugged-in reporter now. The hold-up here is, as usual, Stu Sternberg. The team is valued by Forbes at $1.25 billion. He's likely trying to get $2 billion or more for the team. Now, this is part of the reason that the Rays will likely renege on their deal that they have with St. Pete and Pinellas County for this new stadium deal. As we told you from the very beginning on the J.P. Peterson Show, that deal was never going to go through. It was a land grab, in our opinion, from day one. And when Stu realized he couldn't get the bonds were passed, that he couldn't get that real estate deal, he turned towards the sale. So hopefully this gets done soon. Now, the good news is here that this group will be universally beloved because of their deep Tampa roots, and that gives them the political clout to get the political or the public money. Now, the SITS tax was extended in this past election, so that money can be used for a stadium, so there can be more money there. And also developers can kick in as well. Daryl Shaw, the EBOR plan is still very much alive. That land is still very much available. So you can have developers' money, public money, and of course the private money from the new deep-pocketed owners who truly care about Tampa Bay and will spend money for payroll to get this team rolling. And we could do it the way we've always wanted to do it, in the right location with local ownership who will actually put money into the team. So we will have much more on this on the J.P. Peterson Show coming up on Monday. We do it every Monday through Friday from 10 to 12, Tampa Bay Centric Sports. So check it out. Please like and subscribe on our YouTube page and all our social medias. Twitter, just Google us and you'll find us. We'll have more for you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
And I wanted to leave all that in there at the end, the promotion of JP's show, because again, I'm not saying I don't trust JP. I'm just saying I don't know JP, but certainly here, the way he dictated all that, it seems like he's obviously well-educated on everything going on here in this situation. He's got the connections of people feeding him this information. I'm just saying I can't 100% confirm it for myself. So I trust JP enough to share this with you because I think this is legitimate. I think it's credible. I just don't know him personally, but appreciate the opportunity here to pass this along. And there's so many things there. The Ybor Harbor site. So you're telling me that you could get the Rays under new ownership, spending a lot more money, building the stadium that everybody wants, where everybody wants. Nobody was really hot on the St. Pete site at the gas plant location. It's right next to Tropicana Field. There was complaints about driving across the bridge from Tampa to St. Pete. Anyway, we'll get to more of that in just a second. But I do want to point this out. The deadline of the new stadium deal or not, it's March 31st. So St. Petersburg and Pinellas County, they already approved to move forward on the funding, right? So now they're waiting on the Rays to move forward on this. But in late 2024, it was December they passed all this. They were supposed to do it in October, but there was a hurricane. They were supposed to do it in November, but representatives didn't show up to the meeting from the Rays, so they pushed it to December. They passed it. Now the Rays have a list of items, kind of checklist style, that they need to accomplish, including funding some of the project to begin here by March 31st. Otherwise, the deal falls apart. Otherwise, the Rays lose control over those 65 acres at the gas plant site. But maybe, perhaps, as JP mentions there, if the new ownership group is going to buy in and they want to go to a totally different site, maybe they couldn't care less about the gas plant site. They don't care about that March 31st deadline. So I guess my only question is, does all of this happen before or after March 31st, if in fact there's an actual sale to be had here? Let me get to some takeaways, and then I'm also going to end this video in just a second with the most recent comments from Stu Sternberg. Now that we know this, some of his comments from about 2 weeks ago, they feel like there's a little bit more weight to them. Number one, and again, going to JP's report here, if this is true, what a huge and positive development for seemingly everybody involved. Like if you work for the Rays, if you're a fan of the Rays, if you want the best ballpark for the Rays, if you're a politician in St. Petersburg, well, not necessarily St. Pete, if they are going to move back to Tampa proper, then it's actually a different county over there too. It's not Pinellas County. Is it Hillsborough County? See, look how the California guy getting educated on Florida geography. But it just seems like for all parties, maybe moving on ownership-wise for the Rays would be best for most people involved here. But again, if true, this is huge. Now, the source where JP got this information from, I mean, he's got names, and he's saying this is a prominent group with Tampa roots, and that's great. How does this get out? How does this get leaked? Did the buyers identify themselves and say, well, we want you to know this is happening, just don't name us by name? But why would the buyers want to leak that? Wouldn't that go against maybe their chances of getting this deal done? Like, who would jeopardize a $1.5 or $7 billion deal? And again, we're going to get into valuations in a second. Who would jeopardize that by letting that leak out? You know, somebody on the buying side, certainly not anybody on the selling side. Stu Sternberg wouldn't want this to get out, or he'd want to put it out there himself. So I struggle with that. And I'm not saying it's untrue. I'm just saying, why would somebody do that? Why would somebody put this out there if it's not like literally right around the corner from being done? I would understand if this was in the 11th hour and it was basically cross your T's, dot your I's, it's a done deal. It doesn't seem like we're there yet because they're maybe still even negotiating over price. And if the Orioles sold about a year ago for $1.725 billion, they play at Camden Yards. They've got, you know, longstanding history and audience and growing team and fan base and start to spend the right way. I mean, to think that the Rays would go for $2 billion, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I get it. Valuation versus what it's going to sell for might be two different things, but to the tune of almost double, I have a hard time seeing how anybody would pay $2 billion for the team when the valuation's where it's at and the comp of the Orioles is already at 1.725. And again, it seems like the new group is having their heart set on the Ybor Harbor site. So it seems like, right, all the new stadium stuff we've been talking about, and all those renderings and the meetings of the city and the county, the new group, if they come in time, they would just say, you can forget about that old deal. We want to work out our new deal and maybe even do it somewhere else. So that's all the takeaways I've got on the current situation. Now let's quickly revisit the last comments that Stu Sternberg made. He gave these quotes to the Tampa Bay Times about the entire situation, and this was more the stadium deal and whether to jump in on it on the city and the county's terms rather than entirely their own terms. He said about the new stadium deal, I lose sleep over it. I'm trying. I know whatever decision I'll make, I'll be able to look in the mirror and put my head down on the pillow and know that I can live with myself with it, right? It was the idea of, is he going to spend all this money or is he just going to back out of the deal and walk away from it? Now, here's where he answers a comment or a question about potentially the team being for sale. If it was for sale, people would know it. Well, maybe right now people know it. Maybe this really is a team, a baseball team that's up for sale right now. I've always been, and I will continue to be, pretty transparent about our intentions and not pretty, but very honest about them. So again, if this really was an imminent sale, maybe Stu Sternberg would be coming out and telling us all about it, but he's not yet. And I have been very honest. That has not necessarily served us well the last 3 or 4 months in the stadium discourse situation, but that is who I am and will continue that way. Having the money for a new stadium, and putting it in are two different things. We can get a hold of the money, he said. Does it make any sense to do it? That's really it. Well, if you were only $125 million, $150 million apart over 30 years, think about what the difference is there. It's minimal for a Major League Baseball team. I go back and question the new stadium deal. Like, what if he did turn a corner on selling this team? Which thing made that happen? Was it the lack of the new stadium deal? Was it the Tropicana needed to be fixed? Is he just done with the drama? Stu Sternberg also said about a new stadium decision and that March 31st deadline, I'm not saying a decision or on this or that, but I'll be prepared coming out of the meeting with the owners like 2 or 3 weeks ago and speaking to owners here. There's a lot that goes into it. I don't know what the rush is for anybody or for us. If this is, in fact, a multi-generational decision, I don't think anyone will care if it's a date in January, February, or March. Notice he didn't say April because he knows that March 31st deadline is when things have to be decided. But maybe he's already in the works and making a decision elsewhere. Maybe the team really is up for sale. Maybe the sale right now is being negotiated, and maybe this is just another thing that gets thrown in the moving machine of exactly what's going on with the Rays. Now, if they sell, again, I think it's probably a good thing for everybody. The way that the Sternberg ownership has gone, and I'll stay away from pointing fingers for a second. I'm just saying the way everything has gone between the team, the city, and the county, it just didn't put it in a really good place for baseball fans in Tampa or St. Pete. And if we're talking about keeping a team in a spot, maybe it's best if somebody else tries their hand at it. And you know what? In the end, Stu Sternberg's going to make out pretty well on this deal if he departs and sells a baseball team for the price he's going to get for it, no matter what. Even at the lowest valuation, it's going to be a lot more than he ever bought the team for, and probably double his net worth and personal value all in the same swing. So it could work out for everybody. We'll see exactly how this goes. Again, JP Peterson with this report. And JP, hopefully you'll see this. I appreciate your work in all of this, and I will stay tuned to the latest from you. That's it for this video. Thumbs up down below. I'd really appreciate that. Helps me, this video, and this channel. And one more thing, go down there and make sure you're already subscribed. That way I can definitely see you back here next time.